Shalom, y'all. Right back with another one. You got Keyshawn, J. Will, and the white boy Max. This the one I was talking about in the last video. He was mad, and he ended up saying what they didn't want him to say when Deshaun Jackson made his quotes about us being the real Jews. So they tried not to say anything about it. Period. They tried to just say he said anti-Semitic things. And hold on, let me turn this on real quick. So they tried to say that he said anti-Semitic things instead of saying exactly what he said, because if they say what he said, that's going to cause people to actually think. They don't want people to think. They just want people to do what they want them to do. Follow the media. Follow what they tell you. So Max, this white boy right here, he's Jewish, fake Jew, whatever you want to call it. But he got upset because he was the one that the quotes was aimed at. So now again, I went through First Take a little while ago to see if I could find where they was talking about it. They completely ignored everything that Kyrie said. They completely ignored it, didn't even have a segment on it whatsoever. And again, this is proving the point. They never ignore any huge issues like that. This is sports news. That's what ESPN is. The news of what's going on in sports, on the field and off the field. They make sure they report every single thing. They don't miss nothing. So when they do purposely not show you something, understand it's because they are hiding something they don't want you to know. So we're going to get into J. Will, Keyshawn, and Max response, or, their take on what happened. It's great to see the brother J. Will not doing much cooning. I'm going to say much because he kind of, a little bit, you're going to see. But for the most part, he held his ground. And I do like to see that out of the brothers. He's still trying to keep his job and everything. And that's the reason, again, you got to be PC about it, politically correct. So let's check out what the white boy got to say.
Meantime, speaking of disappointing, Kyrie Irving defends his post about, now I'm going to be careful with my language here, because if I say anti-Semitic, people talk about Semites, people from a certain region of the world, and Ashkenazi Jews, meaning, like, although I have a little Sephardic in me, but Ashkenazi meaning, well, Turks, yes, from Turkey and the Mediterranean, but Ashkenazi meaning white Jews, are not, genetically linked to that area that you read about in the Bible, like Sephardic Jews are. A lot of that was mass converts from about 1,000 to 1,200 years ago in Europe, etc., etc.
Yes, but what he's saying is these white folks are not the real Jews. They're converts. They converted to our heritage, and then they told everybody else that we was niggas. All right, this is what he letting be known without even letting it be known by saying that they are converts. If they're converts, that means there's some people that are not converts, that they were there by blood.
Anti-Jewish, as we understand it in America, movie that Kyrie Irving had a post on social media about. The movie's called Hebrews to Negroes, Wake Up Black America. And Kyrie said that he's not going to, quote, stand down on what he believed in, despite the fact that Nets owner Joe Tsai and the NBA both released statements condemning Kyrie's decision to, look, Nick Friedel asked them about promoting it, and Kyrie got bogged down in the word promoting rather than discuss the content of what Nick was asking. So instead of saying promoting, let's say amplifying, because clearly if a guy with millions of followers retweets something, they are certainly amplifying, right? So I'll say amplifying.
And this is what happens when you create idols. Okay, you the one that want to create you the one that wants to create these idols. America creates idols. They call it American Idols. Okay, they the ones that want to raise up all these people and then give them an agenda for everybody to follow. And then if they don't follow that agenda, they blackball them and turn them into outcasts. Make everybody think they crazy and end up killing them off for the most part. If not physically, then they do it with the media. But a lot of them get actually killed off, like we've seen many times. But Yeah, they're creating these idols, and now they having to reap the repercussions. They have to go through what comes from that. What comes from that is you're creating idols where millions of people are going to follow, and millions of people are going to think that they're right no matter what. They're going to look up to them no matter what. But this is what you created. So now when they actually go rogue on you from your system, where you tell them that they cannot profess themselves to be a Jew, like the Maccabees says, when we joined onto this sports system, that we could not profess ourselves to be Jews anymore. Yes, that's part of the contract. And so that's why every time when one of these brothers go out and speak on being a Jew, you see him get blackballed. You see him have to come out and apologize. Because to be a part of this system, to be put in a light where you're adored and you're looked up to, you have to go along with the program. And now they have to deal with the fact that, yeah, this is not the old times where you could just kill somebody off and nobody say nothing, everything all good. Now you have to deal with these people that you've been lying to, saying that everything's equal, everything's supposed to be the same. All the while, you got us in a chokehold. People starting to wake up. Ain't nothing they can do to stop it.
The movie and its message. So here's Kyrie at the Nets post-game presser.
I'm not here to be divisive on what's going on this or that. I'm not comparing Jews to blacks. I'm not comparing white to black. I'm not doing that. That conversation is dismissive, and it constantly revolves around the rhetoric of who are the chosen people of God. And I'm not here to argue over a person or a culture or religion or what they believe. No, this is what is here. It's on a public platform. Did I do anything illegal? Did I hurt anybody? Did I harm anybody? Am I going out and saying that I hate one specific group of people? So out of all the judgment that people got from me posting, I just, without talking to me, and then I respect what Joe said, but there has a lot to do with the not ego or pride of how proud I am to be an African heritage, but also to be living as a free black man here in America, knowing the historical complexities for me to get here. So I'm not going to stand down on anything that I believe in. I'm only going to get stronger because I'm not alone. I have a whole army around me.
Jay, what do you think?
So there was also the sound of Nick Friedel. There is a lot to break down here, frankly. Kyrie's point about promoting something, there's a bigger point to that, because that's what him and Nick Friedel got into. So I want to address that first. So number one.
And Kyrie's point being made that he made on the when he was getting interviewed, that this white boy that was asking him all these questions is gonna get famous just for sitting there having that little back and forth. We ain't never knew this white boy name. Now they sitting there talking about Nick Friedel. We ain't even know this white boy, but he done got famous just off of questioning his brother over what's going on.
It's on Amazon. It's on Amazon. So what did I do yesterday at 4 o'clock in the morning before jumping to social media, reacting to Josiah being anti-Jewish? Like, I wanted to actually watch it. I watched it. So to deconstruct it, there were parts of it I really questioned that I can see can be claimed as anti-Jewish.
This is what they don't want. This is what I was speaking about in the last video. They underestimate the fact that there are brothers out here that love these brothers, that want to see these brothers do well. And they see that these brothers are being falsely accused. They're not just going to all of a sudden just, oh, it's anti-Semitic stuff. Well, let's cancel him. Let's not talk to him ever again. No, they're going to actually watch it and see what they're talking about. And that is the biggest issue, because you're going to watch it and you're going to find out facts. You're going to find out that we are really God's people. And that is a problem for white people. Esau, according to the Bible. That is a problem for them. The problem is they have to apologize for all of the sins, and the way they apologize is by bowing down to their masters. Servants, obey your masters. Yeah, that's how they apologize. And to avoid that, they're going to sit here and do all the lying in the world, all the smear campaigns they can in the world. But again, brothers are going to watch what Ye said. They're going to watch what Kyrie said. And that is the problem that you have on your hands. You have a fire that you cannot put out. You think those fires on the west are fires you can't put out. Now, this here is a blazing inferno that you could never stop. And I'm enjoying watching every second of it.
Now, I'm not Jewish, Max. You would be. Like, so I would like to hear other Jewish people tell me, and depict that even more for me. Understood. I think the point, so that's interesting about promoting it because it's on a public platform that is promoting it. So if you have any anger towards promoting something that's anti-Jewish, let's take that up with Amazon and Jeff Bezos first and foremost overall. That's a bigger platform conversation. Mm-hmm.
And that's what Kyrie was saying. Like, this is on public. This is for everybody to see. Is this something? Why is it a problem when I post it? But it's not a problem when Jeff Bezos put it on his platform. Like, that's the issue right there.
As it relates to Kyrie, I hearing his depiction or his articulation of his point, it was more so trying to understand about the Black Jewish community and where that's coming from, right? Black Israelites. I know that opens up another Pandora's box. It's very deep here, but I called some of my friends who are Black Jews yesterday to talk to them about this. And a lot of them feel certain ways about how they've been treated within the Jewish community.
And there's
the
no
positives and the negatives,
by the way,
right?
in no community is racism acceptable, including in the Jewish community. And I have a lot of problems with, but with any community, including the Jewish one, although as a community, it's a loose community, that where people are excluded based on race or made to feel or look down upon based on race. I condemn it 100%.
All right, that's a straight up lie. You don't condemn it because this is how you got your job in the first place. You wouldn't be sitting with these brothers talking about something that you cannot do. You can't do none of the stuff that they have done in their career, not even close, but you get a chance to sit there and talk about it and get paid like you can. Why is that? It's because you're Jewish. All right, keep it 100. Don't sit there and try to make it seem like, we condemn any type of racism, any form of racism. You holler at one of those real Jewish, down to the heart, down to the bone Jewish white boys, and they're going to tell you, heathens are nothing. They're nothing to us. We are the chosen people and this and that. All the whole while they got it wrong. They are the ones that are nothing, according to 2 Ezra 6:54. The Lord said that they are nothing. That's where they're trying to take these laws and these commands that God gave us and trying to apply it to themselves, and they look absolutely foolish. So the true so-called, let me not say the truth. The so-called Jews, the ones that actually took this to heart, the Jewish, they really think that they are better than everybody else. They really are racist. Why? Because the Bible is a racist book. God says his children are kings and queens on this earth. We are royalty. And everybody else is nothing according to the Bible. It's not my words. That's what God said. All right? Check it out for yourself. 2 Ezra 6:54. The Lord said the rest of the nations are compared to spit to him. That's what he said. That's not my opinion. But again, they want to sit here and try to make it seem like, we don't agree with this and we don't agree with racism and all that. What book are you reading? Because if you go to the Torah, you go to the Talmud, you go to the Tanakh, these are y'all books that y'all read. All of them have a form of racism in them. All of them show that Jews are above the rest of the people on earth. But you want to act like y'all don't push that. That's exactly what y'all pushing. That's how y'all in power right now, man. Keep it 100.
As any righteous person should.
So I don't see Kyrie coming from a place of negativity or hate, and he properly articulates that. The problem is that this thing gets hijacked.
He properly articulates that.
As a community, it's a loose
Max
community.
don't like to hear that.
Where people are excluded based on race or made to feel or look down upon based on race. I condemn it 100%, as any righteous person should.
So yeah. I don't see Kyrie coming from a place of negativity or hate, and he properly articulates that. The problem is that this thing gets hijacked by somebody like Kanye, who then posts pictures of Kyrie or Stephen A. Smith and saying he's a real one, he's with us, and it gets put into that filter and it becomes polarizing. And it's one. Now look, the timing of Kyrie's post, I can't condone that, right? Like you should be aware enough to recognize that the timing of a post like this is going to lead to a conversation of the tale of Kanye West.
Well, see, that's where I said the Conan part was coming in, talking about condemning the timing of the post. He don't give a damn. That's the point that he's making. He don't care. Y'all trying to blackball Ye, and he coming out anyway, letting it be known what's going on. So you can't sit here and try to understand part and then try to act like you with white folk on another part. Keep it all the way 100, J. Will.
But I understand to a degree the acknowledging of him trying to understand the history of the Black Jewish community and understand, like, I mean, people have written songs about it. I mean, Kendrick Lamar has written a song about this, right? Like, people have acknowledged this for a while. So it's deep, and I just don't want the conversation to be hijacked.
Well, here's the thing, Jay, and I have not seen the movie. It's 3.5 hours, right? Mm-hmm. I will say this, that the book that it was taken from, right? Hebrews to Negroes. I can tell you that there are certain things where if something is quoted as a credible source, I can tell you the book is garbage. I can throw it away.
The white boy said if something is quoted as a credible source in that book, it's garbage. And then now he's finna go through a whole list of truth and facts. It's amazing, man.
If there are good points made within it, or important historical messages to send. This happened, these people were involved in the exploitation, whether in a centrally organized way, as people might accuse the Catholic Church at times, or in a looser way, as it may have been with Jewish merchants, right? We're talking about the slave trade now. Those are all valid points, but once I see a certain shoddy level of scholarship...
So he said it's valid points that the Jewish were merchants in the slave trade. Valid points, absolutely. They paid for the ships. Understand that y'all history is not what y'all been told, white people. Y'all been told that y'all got this glorious history. No, y'all are our slaves, okay? The only reason why we in this situation, this captivity, is because we broke God's commandments. And this is an ass whooping that we going through. But when Christ returned, our ass whooping is over. And it's time for your ass whooping. Understand that.
I know what I'm dealing. I know what I'm dealing with.
That's why I go back to Max. Why is it on Amazon's platform to begin with?
Okay, that's fair. Apparently, the book also quotes from the Protocols of the Elders of Zion, which is just propaganda, disinformation, lies about Jewish people. Like, you know, I will tell you, well, were Jewish merchants involved in this? Yes, they were, because they were merchants at the time, et cetera, et cetera. In the transatlantic slave trade, many people were, including some people who were Jewish, although not some...
That boy say, including some people who were Jewish. Nah, we talking about major players in the slave trade. But he want to downgrade and try to water it down. But that's cool. Long as you admitted that y'all took part in that slave trade, that opens eyes. That let people understand what's really going on out here. Because if y'all so-called the chosen people and y'all so-called so righteous and this and that, well, what the hell was y'all doing taking part in this slave trade? What the hell was y'all taking part in the dehumanizing of our people? Turning them into 3/5 of a man. Hanging and lynching them. But y'all supposedly the people, huh? Somebody getting exposed.
Centrally organized, twirling the mustaches, haha, now the Jews are going to get one over way. But that's a fair thing to bring up. But once you quote from the Protocols of the Elders of Zion, that would be like someone taking something that was written by some slave owner in the South about white supremacy or about how black people are bad and putting that in some book or documentary as though it was a credible source. As soon as I saw that in there, I'd be like, whatever other points this author is making, I'm throwing it out because I see where you're coming from.
Oh, you mean like how everybody's still looking up to these presidents, still thinking that these presidents are good people, still got statues of these presidents while these presidents had slaves? Oh, that's what you mean? Take a little bit that you think is wrong out of it, and just because you feel like a certain part wasn't right, now you're going to discredit the whole movie? But you won't discredit these slave owner presidents. You don't tell these people, oh no, we need to take this man off the $20 bill. We need to take this man off the $100 bill. These men had slaves. Y'all, I don't hear no protesting about that. But you're going to sit here and make it seem like it's an issue because one part that you seen in the movie, which you say you didn't see, one part that you don't agree with, now all of a sudden you feel like the whole thing is a farce. The whole thing is out of line. The whole thing is not true. This ain't nothing but dancing, man, and reaching, trying to hold on to what you got. But understand that the Lord will not be stopped in this hour. And y'all gonna wake up and y'all gonna come and submit yourselves as it is written. All right? The scriptures is very, very, very clear. And this is part of it.
Okay. I see where you're at, and I see the level of vigor and that you put into the scholarship. Zero, basically. It's just propaganda. That's where I'm like, hold up, time out. You're amplifying something that quotes from the protocols of the elders
Well,
of
that's why I go
Zion?
back to
Come
your
on,
point.
man.
It's already being amplified. It's on Amazon. It goes to billions of people.
By
So
the
like
way,
both points are correct, right? So like I'm just saying, if somebody's going to challenge about amplification and promotion of something when it's on a platform that promotes and amplifies to billions of people, like that's a bigger problem.
The difference is one is making it available, and that's a separate conversation. But my issue with Kyrie now is if you do something like this.
He said one is making it available. So did not Kyrie just make it available for more people? So it's okay for one to make it available, but when somebody else goes out and makes it available for a group of people that might not have seen it, that might not have noticed that this was available over here, it's a problem that he does that. Oh man, y'all gotta pay attention to these clowns. These white people will try to talk their way out of anything. Alright? I don't care what kind of white folk he is, they are servants. We are the lords of this planet. It's really that clear. If you want to go against that, you're just going against the Most High.
And then people ask you about it, as Nick Friedel did.
Oh, I agree with you.
Then he wants to get bogged down. Then when I hear like, well, what about what Amazon's doing? Okay, that's another conversation. We're not talking about that right now. Like we're in the sports business, so when a sports figure
No, we talking about it right now.
brings it up, then we're going to talk about it, right? We're talking about what Kyrie did. And when I hear what is Amazon, that's you're trying to distract.
No, I'm
You're
not distracting. I'm asking another question, but
okay, but that's the strategy. Or when Kyrie sits there going,
It's not a strategy,
I'm not promoting.
I'm not
I'm not
backing
saying
anybody.
that you're strategizing. I'm saying you may be falling prey to those who are strategizing because now you are giving that amplification on this show. Like, what about what they're doing? But we're talking about Kyrie. It's all the way not to talk about Kyrie. And when Kyrie gets bogged down, as he did with Nick Friedel, I'm not promoting. In the word promoting, he may have some point to make about the word promoting. But Kyrie, you're clearly amplifying and you're skirting the point, which is you got to take responsibility for what you did.
I 1000% agree with you. I'm not skirting. I'm not strategizing. I'm not falling prey to anything. I'm just acknowledging that there are other questions that need to be asked. That doesn't excuse Kyrie Irving at all. But I understand. Would you think that Kyrie Irving comes from a place of anti-Semitic kind of speech or hate talk?
I think Kyrie Irving is susceptible to low quality information.
That could be fair.
And
That's the same nonsense that he said about Deshaun Jackson. And that's the way they call you stupid without saying you're stupid. What he's saying is, I think Kyrie's an idiot. Susceptible to low quality information, meaning somebody could say something that don't have no merit, no quality to it, but you're just gonna take it and run with it. He's saying this man don't do no research. This man don't care about what's fact or nothing. He just hears something and run with it. He called the man stupid. That's what he doing. You know, white folk got all kind of little slick ways to try to insult you. And that was one of them. He's susceptible to low quality information. Again, white people are harmless without their weapons. Without weapons, this white boy wouldn't open his mouth like that against a brother. Like the scriptures say, let not a dog move his tongue against the children of Israel. This white boy would never open his mouth like that against one of the kings of the earth. But he's able to do it because they have a weapon system and an army that protects them from us. They got the whole SWAT team that protects them from us. Soon enough, that's not going to work.
And wants you to think he's smart, and that's a bad combination.
Okay, I mean, we should talk about it more.
Keyshawn, J-Will, and Max. What are the Phillies?
Yeah, now we're talking about baseball. They said we should talk about it more. Absolutely, we should talk about it more. But this is what they fear: talking about it, having that conversation. Like Jay Will said, Kendrick Lamar already made songs about it. He made a whole album about it. The whole album about us being the Israelites. Kendrick Lamar, one of the most popular rappers in America, made a whole album about this. And it's still being hid in the background. People still try to ignore it. But this white boy ain't doing nothing but showing his colors. Look at Keyshawn sitting in the middle. He trying to keep his job, but you can clearly see on his face, he is very confused about something that just happened. All right? And what just happened is Jay Will just made it clear that Kyrie articulated himself correctly when it came to saying that he's not trying to show hatred. Nah, he's just trying to bring out the facts. And what Max did was bring out a bunch of facts that made him look like an idiot and then try to call Kyrie an idiot. No, you just told on yourself, white boy. And that's the reason why y'all have to go and change slavery. Because y'all so prideful, y'all would know facts of what y'all did wrong to us and still do not apologize. Still do not come off reparations. Still gonna sit there with your prideful look on your face like y'all did nothing. But we know the time is coming. The Lord said it clear. He gonna make y'all ashamed. Y'all gonna be a shameful people. Y'all gonna be a disgrace in the kingdom of heaven, where men gonna look upon you and be like, is this the man that used to rule the earth? Is this the man that had everybody in fear? Is this the man that ruled over the whole compass of the earth with much wicked oppression? And everybody gonna laugh at you. You're gonna be in derision because of what you chose to do and how you chose to ignore what God said y'all supposed to do and how y'all supposed to serve his children. At some point in time, y'all gonna have to wake up. I'll get at y'all later. Shalom.